Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's a very special Shabbat because we've been in the holiday of Passover all week, and tomorrow is the 7th day of Passover, meaning that some Jews end their abstention from leavened foods tomorrow night, others Sunday night, but no matter how you count, it's been a long week. We hope that you had wonderful seders and that you've spent the week thinking about all the themes that are inherent in this festival holiday. But tonight we get to compound our joy of our freedom holiday with the joy of Shabbat. And so we're here to sing, we're here to be together, we're here to celebrate young people coming of age, being called to the Torah. And so we'll join in song with Psalms from Kabbalat Shabbat. We begin on page 12.
So I'll teach you a little bit. Where you only need the first 4 words of this psalm. I simplified it for us. So we don't have to sing all the Hebrew. I'm assuming there aren't that many Hebrew speakers here. So it's like this. Everybody say lechu. This is a fun word. Neranana, which means joy, gladness. Lechu, come in gladness. Ladonai, before the eternal. And one more word you're going to need, which is naria. Say naria, which means what's going to be part of a phrase that says make a joyful noise. And it goes like this. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu, lechu, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu, lechu, lechu neranena. Let's try that again. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu, lechu. Naria, 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 lechu, lechu, neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, 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 neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, 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 neranena, Naria. Naria, 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 lechu, lechu, neranena. Naria, 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 lechu, lechu, neranena. Last time. Lechu, neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, 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 neranena. Lechu, neranena, lechu, neranena, lechu, 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 neranena. And just go to the next page, page 13. We'll just sing the first few words. It's just so great what it means. It says, sing a new song. Let's sing a new song, everybody. Shiru ladonai, shir chadash. Chadash means new. And it's such a beautiful teaching that every generation should make a new song. So we go like this. Shiru ladonai, shir chadash, shiru ladonai, kol haaretz. Shiru ladonai, shir chadash, shiru ladonai, kol haaretz. Yalla, la, 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 la.
page 20.
Page 20 for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Verse 1. Shamor v'zachor v'tibor echad, ki yishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, v'shemo tiferet v'lethilah. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Verse 2. Likrat Shabbat le'uv enelcha, ki מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם יסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Okay, everybody, we're going to try verse 3. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, ומצאי מתוכך, רב לך שבט נערך הבכה, והוא יחמוד עלייך נגלה. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. התעוררי, verse 5, התעוררי, כי באורך ומי אורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. I came down here so I could hear you sing. I just need to hear your voices. I really, really, really need it badly. Okay? lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. One more time, just like that. lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekavela. Oh, that was so good. And let's just keep it going. Boi v'shalom, ateret bana, gam b'simcha, ובסוף עולם, תוך אמוני, עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
You may be seated. So this week, in addition to counting the days, as Rabbi Restreich already said, to getting back to eating bread, we are also in the midst of counting our way from slavery, from freedom, all the way to receiving the Torah. We are in a period of time known as the Omer. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the Omer before. Amazing. This is incredible. It's the 7 weeks that mark the time from the second day of Passover to the holiday of Shavuot, where we celebrate receiving the Torah, which is the first weekend in June. And so every night you are supposed to recite a blessing, counting the days from Passover to Shavuot. And each of the weeks, of the 7 weeks, is assigned a sphira, one of the Kabbalistic values that guides us from that slavery and freedom all the way to the Torah. This week's value is the value of chesed, which means loving kindness. So tonight, I invite you to take a moment and think back over your week and identify one act of loving kindness that you received this week from another person in your life. What is one way that someone showed you chesed? And go ahead and turn to someone next to you and share that receipt of loving kindness with them before we count the Omer together.
Page 278, and we'll sing the blessing that for counting the Omer. And a lot of it will be familiar, and that is that tune that we just did. We just have some new words at the end, but just you'll see it there in transliteration, and sing with me like this. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu v'tzivanu b'mitzvotav, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat haomer, al sfirat
Now that we've blessed the Omer, we get to count the Omer. Hayom Shisha Yom La Omer. Today is the 6th day of the Omer. Good work. We did a mitzvah. During my first year of rabbinical school, we had time off during Passover. I was living in Israel, in Jerusalem, as all first-year rabbinical students at HUC do. And I decided, along with my friend Sarah, to go to Greece and have a vacation there for the week. We called this our funnymoon because to anyone who wasn't us, it probably appeared like we were a young couple, newlywed and in love. We were not. We were just friends. But the whole time, we navigated Athens, we navigated some Greek islands, enjoying ourselves some time in the sun away from our schooling. Before the trip, I taught myself to read the Greek alphabet, because you never know. And one day, lo and behold, we're in Athens, riding the subway. We reach our station. I get off the train. I'm walking on the platform. I'm looking around, trying to find my way out. And above us, a big sign read, Exodus. Exodus. It's just the Greek word for exit. I wondered in that moment what it would be like to encounter the word Exodus so often throughout my day. I wanted to ask a Greek speaker if every time they exited the subway or left a public building or walked through a door, they thought about the Exodus from Egypt. Because for this rabbinical student, for this Jew, the word Exodus evokes so much. If you went to a Seder last weekend or had a Seder at all during Passover, you might have encountered the part of our Haggadah that quotes the Mishnah that tells us that we're supposed to remember the Exodus every day of our lives. To do this, our ancestors, the rabbis, compiled daily prayers into our prayer book and into our daily cycle of praying and reciting Jewish liturgy to actually remember the Exodus throughout our prayers. You might not know this, but in the paragraphs following the Shema, during the Amidah, the standing prayer, in our mezuzahs and our tefillin, and even during the Kiddush, when we say a blessing over the wine later this evening, the rabbis inserted a recollection, a recitation of the Exodus, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim. So we say the words every day. We're meant to, at least. But when we say them, my question is, do we feel them? Do we feel them the way that I felt them when I looked at that subway sign in Athens and saw Exodus? It's helpful to know the true nature of the Exodus story when we think about this. Because the Israelites' exodus from Egypt wasn't in a straight line. We know that from our text and we know that from our stories. And I think it maps onto the way our life also doesn't go in a straight line. I'll quote this week's Parsha, which says that the Pharaoh let the people go, but God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, although it was nearer. For God said, the people may have a change of heart when they see war and return to Egypt. In other words, having just left slavery, newly tasting freedom, they need to build up a crust. They need to build up some toughness before truly experiencing freedom. This text lets us know that if they were to leave and go on the shortest route to get to the promised land, the first sight of hardship might send them running back into Pharaoh's arms. So God doesn't take them on the shortest path. He takes them on a path that is long and challenging. The very next line says, so God led the people round about by way of the wilderness. The Hebrew is vayasev, which is the same root of the word sivivon. Does anybody know what a sivivon is? That's the word for a dreidel. And so the same way that a dreidel spins and is wobbly and unbalanced and collapses, God sends the Israelites spinning. God spins the Israelites around like a dreidel. But this disorientation that they must have felt wasn't a detour. It was the whole point. The Israelites needed time to wobble, to find their balance, to gather the strength and resilience necessary in order to become a free people. The Torah might make this look intentional, but look at it with the literary eye, and you might realize that this divine intervention of being disoriented was retrojected. Retroactively, the Israelites saw that this disorientation was actually part of the plan all along. But I'm not so sure that the Israelites who left were thinking that way. If it were you, if it were me, I think I would head straight towards freedom. And it's not till later that I realize that the struggle was necessary and the struggle made the freedom taste even sweeter. So this is our tradition. The tradition of pursuing freedom but knowing inevitably we'll be spun around and disoriented. It's a story that's not simple or straightforward. It's complex, it's winding, and it's wobbly. In Pirkei Avot, we learn that the Torah contains everything that we need to know. All you need to do is turn it and turn it and turn it again to find the answers. The very next line of that text says, Lefum Tsa'ara Agra, which means according to the labor, according to the struggle, is the reward. So we're called to strive for freedom, although we know it will involve struggle. That struggle is what prepares us and shapes us and makes us exactly who we are. We think about our ancestors and the way they passed down their story of freedom to us. We can't imagine for a second that they did so without putting up a fight. So we too need to anticipate the struggle, know that it's coming, and be prepared for it in community. So as we move through our own wilderness, whether it's political or personal, relational, financial, whatever it may be, we know that life doesn't provide a straight path, but we need to remember that disorientation, wobbling, is not failure. It may be part of that route to freedom. I think this is said very well in a poem that I found in our Siddur, and I want to read it as a closing. It's on page 55 if you'd like to read along with me, or perhaps just listen. It's by a rabbi named Mitchell Fisher, who was ordained as a rabbi in 1927. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred, and I'll add wobbled, to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Blessed are you, God, who sanctifies Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We now rise together on page 28. join me on page 30 in English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריף הרבים.
Page 32, Ahavat Olam.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, הברכה אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. הכן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך, לעולם לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, לאורך ימינו. יומם ולילה, ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto, לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
So the Shabbat that falls between the beginning and end of Passover, we don't actually read from the usual Torah. In the annual cycle, we read a special portion, Shabbat Pesach. And in that Shabbat Pesach, we read the Song of the Sea, which is the song that Miriam and the women sang as we crossed the sea and exited from Egypt from slavery to freedom. So in honor of this week's Torah portion and in honor of our bat mitzvah girl who'll be preaching to us about Miriam tomorrow morning, we are going to be singing Miriam's song as part of our Micha Mocha today. We're on page 40. Please join with us singing and dancing with our timbrels.
And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. We've never thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. Okay, if you want to, I see the spirit of dancing is coming to you, and I love that. So why don't you come out into the aisle, everybody? Make a line. You can go through the sanctuary. Yeah. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha neder b'kodesh, Nora tekilot osei pele, Nora tekilot osei pele. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're gonna dance tonight. Oh, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced all night long. Oh my goodness, it keeps going. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha neder b'kodesh, Nora tekilot osei pele, Nora tekilot osei pele. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
I'm willing to bet some folks at home were dancing too. If you were dancing at home, you felt what was going on in here.
You felt
in the
the joy.
sanctuary.
We are going to continue with the words of Miriam. Instead, we're going from dancing and joy to channeling that joy into bringing a little bit more healing to our words. We're going to be doing the healing prayer today with the words El na refa na la, the words that were prayed to send healing to Miriam.
El na refana la.
El na refa na la, El na refa na la, El na refa na la,
Refuah shlema.
Refuah shlema. El na refa na la, El na refa na la, El na refa na la, Refuah shlema.
This week, as a congregation, we are especially praying for the healing of Rusty Holden, Chaya Bluma, Rick Silverman, Sharon Roth, Sam Nossiter, Robert Osheroff, Andrea Weiss, Margaret Eileen Taylor, Val Hanas Morgan, Burton Jackson, Joseph Shapiro, Nursi Busina, and Rachmael Ben Leah Ben Moshe. If there's someone else who you are praying for the healing of body, of mind, or of spirit, please share their name with our community as my tallest passes over you. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah v'Varech et Holim ha'eleh. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their strength to be restored, and their health to be restored, and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and of spirit, and together let us say, Amen.
El na refa na la, El na refa na la, El na refa na la, Refuah shlema.
We continue on page 44 with Yismechu, and there's a word missing from this text. When you least expect it, you're going to have to shout Shabbat at the end of every line. This is a song that is meant to evoke the joy and the strength that comes from the joy when we celebrate Shabbat together. So if you're ever at a loss for words, just add in Shabbat. Right, Cantor?
Yeah.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם ישבחו
Nice, good.
It may not feel like it in our main sanctuary with our jackets on because of the lack of heat right now with construction, but according to the Jewish calendar, we are now in summer. Passover marks the transition from winter to summer, and in addition, that means it marks the transition on page 50 when we're praying the Amidah. We're going to start on 46, but then continue to 50. We are going to pray for rain for the first time with the words Morid Hatal. The transition to summer begins this Shabbat. We can only hope the weather will follow. Please rise and join us on page 46.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elokei avotenu v'imotenu Elokei Abraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Elokei Yaakov, Elokei Sarah, Elokei Rivka, Elokei Rachel, Elokei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imachot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניכם, למען שמו ביחווה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
A brief poem before we turn to silent prayer and meditation. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We continue privately through the end of the Amidah on page 62. When you have finished, please be seated.
I like to put our kids on the spot. Unplanned, but they're pros. And if I missed any other youngsters here who want to come and join them, Isla, do you want to come join? This is our evening prayer for protection.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, oh Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, oh Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, oh Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
Thank you so much.
It is always a treat when we get to hear those voices in services.
So it's imperative in our Jewish tradition, the imperative zachor, which means to remember. I spoke earlier about how our tradition expects us to remember the exodus of Egypt every day, the same way that our tradition commands us to remember those who have died. We're in a 30-day period of mourning for Marion Friend Pritzker, David Sella, Arthur Buzz Morris Cohn, William Douglas, Jennifer Stoddard, Joyce Temkin, Peter Ginocchio, and Rebecca Eve White. This Shabbat is the yahrzeit or anniversary of death of Isaac Abramson, Rowan Josephine Acton Buternick, Louis Aronow, Irving Bach, Elaine Balin, Jerry Balin, Philip Baumel, Vendla Kivi Aho Belway, Ina Berkeley, Della Burler, Dave Berman, Mildred Bernstein, Louis G. Bilo, Miriam Brandt, Rebecca Brandt, Richard Arthur Brenner, Margaret Brill, Stafford Calvin, Alan Fendrick, Alfred Fleissig, Harold Freed, Helen Freed, Marcia Gallant, Ilya Eliyahu Gordon, Alice Gotthelf, Alice Havner, David Holloway, Paul Zachary Josefowitz, Gary G. Cardos, Mark Katz, Shana Inda Kabinskaya, Presley Kirk, Marcia Breston Lang, Robert B. Leands, Arthur M. Mintz, Joshua Moldaw, Maxwell Alfred Myers, Seymour Neustadt, Mark N. Ozer, Henry Phillips, Henriette C. Pick, Belle Procheski, William Ram, Samuel S. Revo, Luis Robbins, Charlie Robert, Pearl Rudin, Miriam Siegel, Ruth Shames, Norman Shames, Rosalie Shamir, Jill Snow, Marshall Tillen, Albert Upton, and Parviz Yechurun. If there are others for whom you are saying Mourner's Kaddish this evening, I invite you to bring them into this sanctuary by reciting their name aloud as I pass through the congregation.
Tammy Brown, Joe Cohen.
Together we remember them by reciting Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 294. We rise as a community. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalnei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudshah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom mimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Who say shalom bimromav? Who say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Who say shalom bimromav? Who say shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shortly, we'll move back into the foyer, but first I want to draw your attention to our Shabbat handout here and highlight a couple of things that are happening in our community. The first thing I want to say is that you, if you're a diaspora Jew, meaning if you're a Jew that hasn't voted in the state of Israel, you have a vote in the World Zionist Congress election. We as a community are trying to elect as many reform people on the reform slate as possible, and so information on doing that is all over the foyer and in your handout here. The next thing I want to call out is that we have a scholar in residence next weekend. Her name is Yiska Smith, and she comes to us from Jerusalem, and she's going to be talking throughout a 3-day event, a 3-day program. She's going to be here for 3 days with us. She's going to be talking about her journey from Orthodoxy to secularism, back and forth, and talking about her wrestling with the divine. And she specifically is an expert on a rabbi named Rabbi Kalanimus Kalman Shapira, or the Piaseczno rabbi. He perished in the Holocaust, but his sermons remain and are known as Eish HaKodesh, the Holy Flame. I invite you to learn more here. Much more going on. Take a look at your program, take it home with you, and visit our website. We're so glad to be with you. Shabbat Shalom.
And you're,
I would say, please grab your prayer books as we all head out to the foyer for Kiddush and Motzi, generously sponsored by the Bober Stringer family.
Ilu chotzi hotzi anu